Go tell Mark. Tell Mark we got Mark, can you hear me? Check. I'm getting feedback, Mark. Are we ready to go? Let you rise. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now. I'm choosing love today. Joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of joy right now. I'm choosing joy today. Peace. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of peace right now. I'm choosing peace today. Heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today.
Thank you, Joe.
Welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Excuse me?
Morning.
I'm a little hard of hearing.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. What a pleasure it is to be with you this morning. You might notice I have some companionship this morning. If you have not met, if you are here for the first time, this lovely man is my sweet husband, Mark, and we have been traveling. And so this morning we're going to tell you a little bit about that. I want to start with this. There is a difference between a vacation and walking a spiritual path across distant lands. A vacation is an escape. A spiritual journey is a return, not to a place, but to the truth inside you. Vacations offer comfort, entertainment, and rest. Journeys demand courage, resilience, and surrender. Vacations give you memories. Journeys give you wisdom. Mark and I did not set out to merely see new places. We set out to find the spirit of the world, to listen to her rivers and her people, her cities and her stones, her ancient temples and her crumbling streets. We set out to be changed, and we were. This journey asked everything of us. Ooh, I'm really emotional about that. I got it. If you're here the first time, this is not unusual. Yeah, whew, it was 6 months. It was a long time. This journey asked everything of us. It asked patience when plans dissolved. It asked for faith when things were not familiar. It asked for humility when we visited places that were more ancient, more wise than what we have here. It asked us to meet the sacred, not in perfect moments, but in these moments, in the raw, real moments of life. It asked us to trust the holy and to allow ourselves to be broken open, and then to be stitched back together by hands we couldn't see. So now we're home, not to pick up where we left off, but to live differently because of everything we've seen, everything we've lived, and everything we've learned. A spiritual journey doesn't end when the flights are over and the bags are unpacked. It lives inside you forever. The world leaves its fingerprints on your soul. The land you walked on whispers inside you. The lessons you learned at the feet of mountains and wise teachers help shape the way you move through your days. So yes, we return home, but not the same as we were. And that perhaps is the truest sign that it never was a vacation at all. It was a pilgrimage into the heart of ourselves. Sorry about the sniffles. It's a big deal, 6.5 months, being away and traveling and moving through things. And we are here to bring back some of the most amazing teachings that we received while we were gone. And they change things for us. They change how we see life and how we move through life. So we're happy that you're here and we're happy to share this time. And despite the tears, because it was a very emotional journey, we are really happy to be back with you. I want to start this morning with the piece of paper that you received when you came in. These words are, and I'm going to say one word at a time and you can repeat them after me. Loka, samasta, sukhino, bhavantu. Loka, samasta, sukhina, bhavantu. Which basically means, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my thoughts and my actions contribute to the happiness and the freedom of all. So we're going to play this chant, and I'm going to invite you to sing along with it. It's short. You have the words in front of you. To just allow yourself to hear the words if you don't feel comfortable singing them. And then we're going to go into a few moments of silence to bring ourselves into this sacred space. Every moment is an opportunity for peace. Give yourself this moment to feel yourself in your body, to bring yourself fully to this space and time, and to open to something new, to open to the possibility that it's time for something new. Give yourself a moment of silence and simply notice your breath. As you feel yourself in this moment, ask yourself how often, when you pray or meditate or simply make a silent moment for yourself, how often you allow your vision to expand to the well-being of the world. That all that we do should support the well-being, the happiness, and the freedom of all beings. Allow that thought, that awareness, that possibility to settle now into your soul. And as you bring yourself back into this space, opening your eyes and joining us here, remember who you truly are. You are the journeyer. And so it is.
Let's do this as a call and response. Behold, behold, behold who we are. Behold, behold, behold who we are. I lay, hallelujah. I lay,
Thank you, Joe. Phew. Last week we laughed a lot. This week we might cry a little. If you're new here, that's kind of typical for us. We're kind of a big heart-based group. So I really want to call you to this moment, because this is a loving place. This is a heart-based place. This is a place where we open up, where we let the walls down. And for today, whether this is your first time here or you have been coming here for 30 years, and if you've been coming here longer, I won't tell anybody. No matter how long you have been in this space, I invite you to bring your full heart, your full mind, your full body, your full essence to this moment right now.
Thank you. had 6 songs planned for this service. And I changed my mind 8 minutes ago. I left my happy home to see what I could find out. La, 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 la. That's your part. Left my folk and friends with the aim to clear my mind out. La, 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 la. I hit the rowdy road, many kinds I met there, many stories told me of the way to get there. So on and on I go, the seconds tick the time out. There's so much left to know, I'm on the road to find out. Ready? La, 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 la. Harmonies. La, 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 la. Connie, nice to see you here. Well, in the end I'll know, but on the way I wonder. La, 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 la. Through descending snow and through the frost and thunder. La, 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 la. I listen to the wind come howl, telling me I have to hurry. I listen to the robin song saying not to worry. Oh, so on and on I go, the seconds tick the time out. There's so much left to know, and I'm on the road to find out. La, 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 la. I found myself alone, hoping someone would miss me. La, 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 la. Thinking about my home and the last person to kiss me. La, 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 la. Sometimes you have to moan when nothing seems to suit you, but nevertheless you know you're locked towards the future. Ooh. So on and on you go, the seconds tick the time out. There's so much left to know, and I'm on the road to find out. La, 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 la. Well, I found my head, no, I found my heart one day when I wasn't even trying. La, 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 la. And here I have to say, 'cause there is no use in lying. La, 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 la. Yes, the answer lies within, so why not take a look now? Kick out that ego sin, pick up the good book now. Yeah, the answer lies within. Well, why not take a look now? Kick out the ego sin, pick up the good book now. La, 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 la.
Take a nice deep breath in and release with a sigh. Hey, Mark, can you please turn my mic up just a little? I can tell some people are having a tough time hearing. Better? Can you guys hear a little better now? Is that better? Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for those of you that are like, I can't hear you. Thank you for letting me know so we can take care of that for you. Joe, thank you. It's not a surprise that Joe had to do 6 songs because Joe didn't know what we were going to say this morning because we didn't know what we were going to say this morning, except we were going to talk about having been away and what we gained on the trip. But I have a moment for you that I hope you were expecting, and some of you will have seen this moment before because I posted it when it happened. This moment is this spiritual center is directly responsible for this moment. I'm going to ask Mark to play, and then I will explain it because it'll make me cry otherwise. Would you go ahead and play that video, Mark?
We'll look back and say, damn, what a damn good time. These are the moments, these are the memories, these are the summers. So let's don't let these hours and minutes and seconds go to waste. Hey, cause these are the good days.
So. Anybody else tear up over that? Some of you will because some of you already know this story. In, 2017 maybe? 7 years ago. We regularly, every Christmas, we help the Christmas Tree Project get ready to distribute Christmas trees throughout the city. And we were there doing that, a bunch of us who are in this room and a couple of other churches who were with us. And David Fine, who he and his wife lead that project, came up to me and he said, hey, there's this group in Africa, and December 13th is when they honor the massacre of the people in their village. It's when they have a village feast to sit together and to honor that massacre. So could we raise some money for that? And I said, it's a whole village. How much money do we need to raise to feed a whole village? And he said, $600. I said, how many people are in the village? He said, about 600. Costs $1 a person for a feast in the refugee camp in Nakivale, Africa. So we raised money. I walked around with a basket and asked everybody to donate, and we didn't raise quite enough, so I came here Sunday morning and asked you guys to put more money in the basket so that they could have this feast, and you guys did. And that started a relationship that proceeded to allow us to build a school in that village, to support a soccer team, which was hugely important, and to develop relationships. So the young man that you see in the video, his name is Dino. And Dino became our son, and our son. He became part of our family. And for 7 years, Mark and I have been in relationship with Dino. And it took a while. It'll be 8 years on June 27th that we have known him, and 4 years since we officially adopted him. And he is 28, so he is not legally adoptable. But we adopted him because I said to him one day, how are you going to get out of the refugee camp? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, I'm going to be your American auntie, and we're going to get you out of there. And he said, can I call you Mom? Because he hasn't been with his mom since he was 7 years old. And he can't go back to Ethiopia. And so on this trip, Mark and I had the opportunity to go to Uganda and to spend a couple weeks with Dino. And that is our very first real hug. So, yeah. So that's what got me choked up before I came in here, was watching that video. And that was an hour ago at like 9:15 or 9:30. And I haven't stopped being choked up since because it's a big deal. Dino is no longer in the refugee camp. He's now living in Kampala, which is the capital of Uganda, and he's going to college. And his life is very different because of what this community did. His life is very different because we opened a door to something that we could not have even imagined was possible. And when you're in Uganda and you walk through the streets of Uganda or you drive through the streets of Uganda, you see people on the streets who are walking in between cars with sacks of potato or rolls of toilet paper because they have to sell what they can sell to be able to pay for their living. And the whole time I was there, I found myself asking myself, why is it these people and not me? Why is it not us? Just because we were born here. Why are we not walking the streets in Africa, finding whatever we can to sell, to be able to make a living, to be able to feed our families, to have food? Why is it not us? And the thing that came to me in that moment was the understanding that the way we teach unity teachings says all we have to do is think right, meditate, say the right words, do the right thing, and we can have anything we want. That's how we manifest. We co-create with God. That's what we teach. And it works. But it isn't happening in Africa. Why? Why? You know, I don't know why, but I know this. I know we need to think differently about how we do what we do here. Because our manifestation process is this. We invite people to align with the frequency of what they want. We say we are sourced by the eternal. We have everything, every bit of energy that we need. Every bit of everything is available to us if we bring ourselves to the right frequency, to the right vibration, to the right knowing of who we are. If we align and we see ourselves as worthy, we understand that we are God expressing and we live from that, we create from that, we can create the life that we want. And I also look around our world right now and I recognize that while we create the life that we want, we have created what we have right here in the United States right now. We have created that. Whether you like it or you don't like it, no matter how you feel about it, we are not victims. We created this. And so I just want to say to you, one of the most important things that came to me on this trip is that in our place of moving through this manifesting power, understanding that we are worthy, we have forgotten a really important step. And that step is that we need to, whatever it is that we are manifesting for ourselves, we need to manifest it for the entirety of all life. That's why we did the chant this morning. That's why I wanted you to see those words. That's why I met with Carol and asked Carol to have the prayer chaplains add this when they pray. And I am asking you to add it when you pray and when you meditate. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all that I do contribute to that in the world. Right? We can pray for anything we need, and the divine will source us. We need the whole world to have what we have. Your turn.
We'll see how loud this is. Not too loud? Can you hear me? So, we talked about, kind of what we experienced during this journey and kind of giving a little bit of a flavor for what it was for each of us. And for me, it was really about coming into my heart more because I've been spending the last 16 years at the university working there, and in the mind very heavily, which we as men, but also women, are now cursed with in a certain way. And so the process for me was coming more into my heart. Can I do this process of really coming from here and what that might look like and how life might be different if I could do that or show up in that framework? So from the very beginning on our flight out of Colorado Springs, actually I'm not sure where we landed first, but we didn't go directly we went to San Miguel de Allende, Mexico is where where our first 5 weeks were on this journey. And on the flight, I think it was the second flight to get there, there was this old Mexican couple. And this man was not well. And his wife, or I'm assuming it was his wife, was so tender with him. And they sat right beside me on the plane. And he, like I said, was not well. He was shaking. And she was just so tender with him. And coming from the place of love, of what love means in relationship, I mean, there's that really juicy love that comes in that first, when in that new relationship. But there's something about the depth of what this love was from this wife and husband, where his head was leaned on her shoulder, and she was stroking his head, and his hands were on hers, and it was just the depth of love that comes from a life of struggle, of challenge, of heartache, of joy, of love, but of connectedness. And that when we step into the depth of who we can be and surrender to how we take care of each other in relationship, there is no deeper love. I mean, it was just magical for me to experience that. That was on the way down to Mexico. That was day one of this journey. And so from there, part of the reason why we were in San Miguel de Allende for 5 weeks was because we wanted to be there in Mexico during the Dia de los Muertos, so the Day of the Dead, to experience how a culture celebrates death in a different way than we do. In the West, we run from it, right? We don't talk about sex and we don't talk about death. We avoid those at all cost. And so that's where our wounding is. That's where we have our issues and our problems in our culture. But to be in a culture where they celebrate death, where if you've seen the movie Coco, the animated, it is like that. The marigolds that are there on the streets and stuff is because it's the invitation, the smell. Our house is filled with marigolds in the fall. So it's the appropriate time of year for marigolds to come into bloom, and marigolds have an exquisitely strong, pungent smell to them. And for them, it's the invitation for the ancestors to follow that back to the altars that the families have. And so during the Day of the Dead ceremonies in the cemeteries, as we walked in there and just held sacred space and observed and tried to be in the energy of the people there as they were surrounding the grave sites of their ancestors, of their beloveds, and telling stories and laughing, and had food that they were sharing in and singing songs. And then there were some who were in deep grief because of somebody who had passed more recently. That was a richness. So that was part of the deep journey for me of going, okay, I get the love and I get the death piece, that piece that ties us together, the heart again, the deep heart connection that segment of the trip gave me. And on the back end of the trip, the last segment we had was our trip to Bali, and that's where we're wearing our Balinese ceremonial wear. So we would go into the temples wearing this attire. You couldn't go into ceremony without wearing this kind of attire. You wouldn't be let in, including bare feet, because it's a sign of connectedness to the earth and showing reverence to the sacredness. I spent more time barefoot in Bali than I think I ever have in my life. And it was a sweetness. So for those of you who know me, I'm a deep nature person. It's really where my true church, if you want to call it that, is. It's where I connect to the divine. It's where nature speaks through me. It's where my connection to my deepest spiritual beingness is. The barefootedness for me connected me. It kept me really tactilely, tangibly in union with Mother Earth, with what was underneath me. It was always, sometimes it was nice and soft. Sometimes it was harsh and pokey and, stepping on a needle of sorts, or like, ouch, that hurt, right? But it was always communicating to me. And so there's a richness of this. And also wearing this attire, everything in Bali is in the kind of, for those of you who study any of Tesla's stuff, Tesla said, if you understand the symbology of 3, 6, and 9, you understand the connection of the universe. Everything in Bali is about 3, 6, and 9. And so there is something about the spirituality of Bali and being in a culture that lives and breathes spirituality. There is something about that is magical beyond belief. It was one of the things, Bali has been calling me for about 5, 6 years now. And I told Ahriana, it's like, we need to go here now because I can energetically feel the doorway of whatever it has to give me or us. I feel that doorway, the energetic doorway closing. I feel that coming to a close. If we don't go now, if we don't show up and go there, whatever it was that it had to give us will no longer be. It'll be something different, like it always is, but whatever its gift is to us will be something different. So we showed up there, even though halfway through, as our home didn't get rented like we had hoped it had. The villa that we were supposed to be in for 3 months in Italy didn't emerge, so we could hear, I heard this, it was a suctioning of money just being sucked away out of our retirement account, going, okay. In fact, there was a point where we talked to each other while we were in Lisbon, right before we went to see our son in Uganda. It's like, I don't know if we can do this. The fear crept in, right? The fear of, what if we don't have enough? What if we come back here and I don't have a job? I left the university right in June of last year. I left the university. So it's very real for us in this interesting world in the Western world of money and stuff and things dominating safety, right? That both gives us security, but also contains us and also holds us and also owns us and also sets us in chains. And it was a real moment or many moments, I should say. It wasn't one, there was many conversations about, and tears and heartache and like, I don't know what's happening here. It's like, do we continue on to Bali or not? Do we trust that we're being guided or not? Right? We went and it made all the difference. But I do want to speak before I get a little bit to Bali, because I know my wife is watching my time frame here, because you've given me approximately 10 minutes, is that when we went to see our son Dino, and again, adopted from the heart, we'd never met this young man, we'd had all these conversations. You don't know quite what you're getting into, right, with any of these things. We were pretty sure he wasn't pulling the wool over our eyes because we'd been with him for 7 years in communication, talking with him. But it was the richness of this young man's soul who grew up with nothing, who left his home not because he wanted to, but because he was chased out for fear of death, running into the jungles with his uncles, being left in a refugee camp at a very early age by himself with no family, which means, think about this in a community where you've got you can't work in a refugee camp, you can't earn income in the traditional way, that you don't have the ability to do that, you have no parents, no family of any sort to look after you and to support you. So how do you survive? Oftentimes by taking, or maybe by showing up and doing small tasks where people can give you something in return. But from the outside world looking in, from the rest of the refugees, is like, that guy Joe, he doesn't have it. He's sitting by himself. He has no family here. We got to watch out for him because he's going to take from us. In an environment where they don't have very much, taking a little means taking a lot. So I speaking with Dino for that 2 weeks, what we did is we started this, I'm not even sure how or why it started, but to get to know each other better, we started asking each other questions like, what was your favorite childhood memory? Or who was your best friend? Or what is a ceremony that you did in your village that was meaningful to you? And we shared, we each, all three of us would go around the circle and share to learn more about it. In fact, I think I know more about him than I know about the rest of our 4 children. And truly, and probably know more than I know about my best friends. Because we're asking real questions. And we've continued that after we've gotten back. Every time we call, we ask like, okay, what questions do you have? And it forces us to ask really meaningful, purposeful questions. And in those questions, what came up was this amazing young man of such deep character, of such deep wholeness and knowing of self, that he humbled me and continues to humble me in his ability to stay true to himself in ways that I haven't even begun to know myself. And for him, he didn't have a father who acknowledged him. His father was a wealthy doctor. But in that culture, if you're not acknowledged in Ethiopia, in that culture, if you're not acknowledged, you are basically a nobody. So he had great hatred, anger around his father. And he said, for me showing up and being called dad for him, and for me to say, Dino, I not only claim you, I hold you under the wing of protection, and I honor you as my son. That allowed him to forgive his father. That allowed him to see a different place in himself. That allowed him to move into a different relationship with the anger and the hatred he had toward his father. And it allowed me to deepen and understand the responsibility I have toward this young man, right? It's not just a word I'm saying, oh, I'm your dad. It's like, oh my God, there's a deep responsibility that I have to this young man. There's a deep responsibility that I have to this young man to show up as a best version of myself, which means I show up for a better version of myself with my own children, with my own friends, with this community, with all communities. So if that was a gift, when we're speaking of gifts that were given to me or things I learned on that journey, that was one of the most deeply meaningful, rich, ceremonial heart awakenings and growth that I've ever experienced. And from there we moved to Bali. And that was, you're in a culture, and the culture of Bali, I'm going to kind of weave this fabric here of what Bali was about. It's a culture where they pray 3 times a day. They give offerings. The women create these banana leaf offering baskets, are like 4 inch by 4 inches. They weave them together and they put flowers in there. They're about directional meanings. Everything is about meaning there. They have incense that are lit, and they give offerings 1 to 3 times a day. But if they're available there, they do it 3 times a day. So they offer to the ground, to the underworld, if you will, to the demons, as they might call them, those things in life that might cause us angst or might come up and unravel us. Right? Those things that are the unknowns. Oh, please stay, please stay, please stay. Please stay.
5 kids, we're used to babies. It's okay.
The children are the magic of the world, right? Their voice, I mean, they're singing out. That's a beauty. They're chiming in and going, yes, 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 more of this. We're talking about, so they're giving offerings to the underworld essentially, and saying, we acknowledge you, we see these. We are not trying to push you away and make you somewhere else. We're acknowledging that you exist. Please give us grace and don't disturb our world. Instead of in our world was like, I don't want to think about the negativity. I don't want to think about the difficult things. I don't want to, I mean, when something difficult happens, like, I don't want to, we run from it, right? We push it away. We try to make sure it doesn't exist. We're going to give it light and love and all this. It's like, no, this exists here. The difficulties in life exist, right? There is suffering in life. It's part of what makes us human. Don't try to escape that. It's what gives us our beauty. It's what gives us our grace with each other. It's what opens our hearts. And so they're giving the gifts initially to the underworld, and then to this world here of where we exist, and giving blessings to our families and friends and relations, and to the villages and community, and then the blessings to the gods and goddesses which we are, and connected to the divine essence of who we are. 3 times a day they do that. Everywhere you walk, you see these offerings next to you. You can't not be constantly in ceremony, in reverence, in connection, in that constant prayer. And it softened us, and it awakened us, and it created the pathway and the doorway for us to be in deep relationship with several Balinese families and their communities. And it was rich. And I will wrap things up with it during this place. We were doing deep ceremony. In fact, we were looking for about, 25 days where we went, the last month we were kind of there. We went into our own little areas of really deep inner workings. So we had a villa that had an upstairs where Ahriana stayed and a downstairs where I stayed, and we did our work separately and did some really deep, rich stuff that we were then able to share with each other. So there's importance in relationship of finding time for ourselves so that we can bring that richness back to each other. And that was, I would say, probably the greatest gift is the softening into each other and the tears that came from sharing our truths, right? Because after 25 years of being together, we pretend like we know each other. We do, right? We put each other in boxes. We go, oh, I know Joe like this. This is who Joe is. Or in this case, Ahriana, I know who you are. This is the box I create around you. That's safety, that's security. I know who you are. Don't change. But that's stagnancy, right? We should be going, evolve. Tell me who you are. Let me see you in different light. Let me see you in a different way. And so this piece of opening my heart and love was constantly weaving itself through my journey in this last 6.5 months. And what I'm going to be sharing this afternoon has to do with love, and it's a relationship with, I'll leave it this way, that a teacher who I came across there spoke to the place of that in all the sacred holy text, whether it's the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, all of the sacred text equate God to what? Love. In its purest form, before it gets taken and used as power and manipulation and stuff like that, in all its truest form, our holy text, our sacred text, equate God to love. And so I'm going to be sharing this afternoon in my segment of the class, the course, the teaching, is going to be about taking us into a deeper understanding of what love is, and hoping that you get some insights here that, for me, continue to ripple through. I've spent days and weeks and hours, tens of hours, identifying for me what that really means through a different lens. So I invite you, if you're so able and willing, we're going to be doing this from noon to 1:30 today. So that's my journey, a touch, a spice, a blink of an eye of what I experienced during this journey over this last 6 months. That was a little longer than 10 minutes.
It was. It was. So I'm not going to try and answer these here because I so value your time here. And I know that sometimes on Sundays we have other things we need to get to when we leave. But what we will do is we'll take these as we've done in the past and take them one or two at a time and answer these questions in the e-blast so that you get the answer to what happened here. 6 months, 6.5 months it was for us. We had planned 6 and ended up having to stay 2 weeks longer in Bali. 6 months takes as long to download as it did to upload. So you'll be hearing stories and we'll share things with you as we go along. The workshop this afternoon is to give you an opportunity to have a couple of the tools that we are still playing in, that we are still working with, and to have that experience and maybe engage in that playfulness with us. This is a love offering workshop. You can put anything you want in that basket back there. That's something that Mark and I have done for years in honor of our Hopi teacher, who said you should never not be able to come to a class. Put your hands over and say a prayer for us. Put a loaf of bread in there, put some tobacco in there, put some money in if you have money and that's the right way for you. But the offering basket is your way of giving to the energy that you'll receive. So we hope that you can be there this afternoon. We'd love to share more of this with you. And as I said, we'll continue to share more of it as we go along. I didn't take the time to put pictures together. If you're not on my Facebook, go ask to be on my Facebook. I have 6 months worth of pictures of everywhere we went and all we did, and you can find all of that there. But the most important thing that I want to say to you now before I invite Joe to come back up is if you ever have the chance to go on a journey that is a journey and not a tourist experience, please do it. Please look at every vacation you take and ask yourself, what are you seeking? Are you seeking an escape? Or are you seeking spirit? Because if you are seeking spirit, you will find it. The journey may not be as easy as if you're seeking an escape, but it will enrich your life in ways that are beyond words. Joe? Yeah.
Wow, I love this place. I'm going on a spiritual journey, saving up my fare, with nickels, dimes, and dollars worth of lessons to get me there. Sail oceans of unknowing, hike hills of jagged stone, and shake like an autumn leaf when that last train whistles me home. I'm going on a spiritual journey, leave that list behind. No matter what I crossed off, it got longer all the time. It's just like some endless desert, all sun and desperate wind, and nothing there was moving but the sweat upon my skin. This morning I picked up a stone to prove that I had lived, and I walked it round the dog park dropped it from the bridge, and I hope that stone is happy at the bottom of that stream where ripples shift the sunlight and the world is sparkling clean. But who knows how we end up where we do? So I'm going on a spiritual journey. Lord knows I'm traveling light. A tattered bag for dreams, a prayer for insight. 'Cause when I pray thy will be done, there's all there is to say. That's all there is to say. On the twisting road to find out, forgiveness knows the way. Only forgiveness, only forgiveness, only forgiveness knows the way. Only forgiveness, only forgiveness, only forgiveness knows the way.
Such sweet words, Joe. So true. Mark and I could tell you 1,000 things on that trip that were about forgiveness on every level. Open the heart, forgive. Open the heart, forgive. Open the heart, forgive. Over and over and over. What a perfect song. Thank you. It is a blessing, blessing, blessing to be with you. I said this last week, but some of you weren't here, and I want to say it again. It is a rare thing to work with a community and say, I have this amazing chance to go on the road for 6.5 months, and I can help you. I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can do this on Zoom, and I can help you. And we'll set up speakers, and we'll set up musicians, and it'll all be fine. And to have the board of that community say, okay, yeah, do that. That'll be fine. Let's see what happens. If we do that, let's see what happens. So I want to say thank you again to all of you. Your board, they are the voice of you. They are the people that you elect to speak for you. And I want to thank you for making it so easy. And I hope that what we bring back to this community will be important enough to this community to have been worth the time that we were away. I hope that you feel filled by it and nourished by it in the way that we have. And if you have the chance to journey, please journey and bring back what you gain, because the world is full of amazing, amazing gifts. And it's amazing how different any one country can be, any one city in any one country, any one person in any one city, in any one country. I hope we'll see you this afternoon. Right now, before we go into our time of giving, I want to say that when you give here, we do something with what you give. And if what has happened in Dino's life is not an example of that, I don't know what possibly could be. Yes, we do all the things. We pay our staff and we keep the doors open and the lights work. All that stuff happens because of the giving in this community, but remarkable things happen. And you heard the story of a young man in Africa, but we work here with Westside Cares right around the corner. And we provide blankets for people who are cold and food for people who are hungry and school supplies for kids who wouldn't have them. We provide Christmas presents and Thanksgiving food and all kinds of things that come directly out of this community, out of its pockets, out of its hearts, out of its minds and imaginations for something better. So when we speak about the offerings that we make here, about how we give, I want you to know that your giving is changing the world. That you're not just giving because, gosh, isn't that what all churches do is ask for money? Because we are doing something. Because we can do something. Because the world is a little bit better because Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies exists. So thank you. Let's hold in our hands whatever we choose to give, whatever that is, and let us repeat our affirmation of abundance together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Traveling at night, the headlights were bright, and we'd been up many an hour. And all through my brain came the refrain of home and its warming fire. You can join me on this. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings to fly over the mountains, though I'm standing still. People I've seen, they come in between the cities of tiring life. The trains come and go, but inside, you know, the struggle may soon be a fight. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings to fly over the mountain, though I'm standing still. Traveling at night, the headlights were bright, but soon the sun came through the trees, and around the next bend, the flowers will send the sweet scent of home in the breeze. And home sings me of sweet things. My life there has its own wings to fly over the mountain, though I'm standing still. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Before we turn this over to get our final announcements and all of that, I know that Connie is about to leave for Italy. I know that Dawn and Luana are about to go to Holland. Is there anybody else in here who has a soon-to-be trip? Where are you going, Kelly? Puerto Vallarta. And you? I've been there. Amazing place. Amazing. Who else? Also amazing. France and Italy. Manitou Springs. Okay. So there is traveling about to happen. As I said, I hope you will make it a journey. Let us also, as community, just for a minute, hold the awareness that Mark and I had a completely safe, wonderful trip. We had one, I fell one time, scratched up my leg, no big deal. It was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal. It was good. What I'd like us to do is hold an awareness for our community around those who are traveling, to hold first an awareness of safety. Can we do that? Just safety. for everyone who's traveling. Yeah. And let us also invite all who are traveling to find wisdom that grows our community, that evolves us and moves us forward, and to bring it back. Yes? Yes, yes, yes. In August, the first week of August, we do a water ceremony. And at the water ceremony, people come up and they bring a little water, or they imagine they have water, because some of us, like, you can't always bring the water home. But we do a little ceremony, and there's an opportunity to share something that you learned. So if you are traveling, or if you end up out over the summer, please bring some water back if you can. And whether you do or not, notice what the wisdom is that you pick up and bring it back to us, will you? It's a great gift that we give each other. Connie?
Impromptu.
Yes.
But part of my journey is going to be walking the labyrinth in Italy. There are at least 50 some that I have found, and I hope to walk many of them. Oddly enough, this Saturday is World Labyrinth Day.
Hey,
And at First Con and other, there are probably...
hey, Connie, can you talk into my microphone because they can't hear you online?
I'm sorry. Hope you don't mind if I do this. Part of my journey will be to walk labyrinths in Italy while I'm there, and I will be on a plane this Saturday morning when World Labyrinth Day is celebrated here. There are labyrinths all over Colorado Springs. You can go to the Worldwide Labyrinth Finder, which is what I use. Just Google Labyrinth Finder, and there are several within 2 miles of here. Mm-hmm. And all over the place. If you get the chance to go up to Black Forest, to the help me out, Bennett Hill Labyrinth in the woods there, it just makes you cry. It's just, it makes you cry. But I will be on a plane. I'd love to have you all share in that journey. If you haven't walked a labyrinth ever or in a while, what an energy this Saturday. And I think it's worldwide.
Awesome.
Thanks, Connie.
So you get to journey without even leaving home. How's that? Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. There was something I was going to say. I don't remember what it was. It will come to me when I get home and take my minister's nap. I'll bring it back to you. If you are on Zoom and you didn't get to hear you didn't get the words to the chant that we did at the beginning, I have that ready to post, or have posted. I think I have it ready to post on our Unity Facebook page. That video will go there too. So if you want to go back to that chant, it's really a beautiful piece and something that you can use on your own. So that will come to you. All right. Who's my platform assistant who has great announcements? Charlotte. All right, we'll see you at the back door. Ready? Oh, we'll take these questions with us so we can answer them.
Almost tempted to say, after 2 weeks in a row or more frequently, we've got to quit meeting like this. So glad to share the platform with you. And oh my goodness, I don't know about you all, but I just feel raw in a good way opened up. And I'm really excited and looking forward to being with Ahriana and Mark this afternoon. So in the meantime, would you please join me in sharing our minister affirmation as soon as it comes up on the screen? There we go. Please join us in saying our affirmation to welcome our new minister. You can include it in your daily prayer and meditation, and it goes, in deep gratitude for our past, we embrace change with faith and enthusiasm. We will warmly welcome our new minister to Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies with open hearts and joyful spirits. And so it is. Thank you. The flowers today were brought in by River Hansen in honor of her sister Deborah Jean's, aka Stone Wolfsong, her 74th birthday. And they're just lovely, River. Thank you. Upcoming events. Sacred Women's Circle meets tomorrow, New Moon Gathering tomorrow, Monday at 1:30 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. Set your intention for the next 28-day moon cycle. Tarot cards will be provided, or bring your own. See River for more information. Scrappy Quilters Group will meet Wednesday, April 30th from 10 to 12 in the Fellowship Hall to make blankets and other items for our friends at Westside Care. The Mysticism Workshop with Joe U. Vegas, and I have already signed up, is scheduled on Saturday, May 17th from 9 to 12 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. You will learn the importance of suffering. Really? Oh, okay. Maybe I should get my check back.
And, we'll think about it in a light way, though, okay? Think about it in a light way, yeah.
Okay, so you'll learn the importance of suffering and how we are connected to each other in the realm, recognizing miracles and understanding the idea of space and your spiritual journey. The workshop will include music, Joe's personal story, small group discussion, journaling, and poetry. The workshop fee is $20, and you can pay with cash or checks. Make checks payable to Joe U. Vegas. Turn in payments in the Unity office to our lovely Yolanda. And I need to remind you, because Richard is waving at me down here, that if you have not paid your pledge for the Easter bonnets and ties, please do so as soon as possible, and you may do so. Those of you who are here, do so while Yolanda is here. You can go directly to her. And is there a special way they need to, or on the website? Okay, we'd like to get those in by May 7th, I believe, is what's been requested. Okay. All right, don't forget, always check the weekly Unity newsletter. There's a lot in there. Bulletin boards. I found some stuff on the bulletin boards I hadn't seen. Online calendar and Facebook page for updates on events. And we're going to have some interesting, fun things coming up for the summer. And with that, I just want to thank Joe.
I'm sitting here laughing to myself because, like my wife and I have talked about the fact that, I'm not really very good at self-promotion, and you just witnessed why. Here, let's come talk about suffering.
That's an interesting topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ahriana and Mark, thank you for such
Yes,
a
thank you.
wonderful, raw, organic presentation today, and we're excited to see you in just a short time. And for everyone who has participated and helped here today, for our ushers and the fellowship team, by the way, if you're new here, we have lunch. Well, we have brunch today. Please join us in the fellowship hall. Is anyone here for the very first time? Yes. Okay, welcome. And we have an information packet for you. And please join us. Okay, where am I? So thank everyone who has participated. Thank you all for being here. And thank you, Zoomies, for giving us your presence. And now I invite Carol Crossley as your prayer chaplain to come up and lead us in our closing prayer.
Today has been such a blessing. We are so grateful for the information and beautiful message for Ahriana and her husband. Thank you so much. And with that, I just want to let you know that every day is a prayer, every single day. And as you begin your day, you can open to the possibilities of peace and love for all of us. Very simple. Just open up your heart to that. Peace for all living creatures, for all human beings. And with that, we have you have the ability today to come and pray. I will be down the hall in the meditation room for any challenges or any celebrations or anything that touches your heart. You can also submit a written prayer in the prayer box in the back, in the foyer. There's a wooden box there, and that is also prayed over and given to Yolanda to send to Silent Unity. And so this, we will say the next prayer. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. And now for our song.
Please rise.